What's up guys, it's Lord Botha here with another video, and Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is a smash hit at the box office. This comes to us from Variety. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice scares up $110 million in second biggest September debut in history. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the sequel to Tim Burton's 1988 horror comedy about a pesky poltergeist, scored a huge $110 million from 4,575 theaters in its opening weekend. Those ticket sales ranked the second highest September debut of all time, ahead of its 2019's It Chapter 2 and only behind 2017's It, which was the remake. All three of those September record holders belong to Warner Brothers, which makes it even more fascinating that Warner Brothers is essentially financially insolvent. Warner Brothers is poised to be the most successful failure in the history of film. Also, it's interesting to note that there's something about September and horror movies, because all three of those movies are horror movies. Not only are they horror movies, they're remakes of horror movies or sequels to horror movies that are like 30 years old or more. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice also debuted internationally with $35 million, bringing its total to $145.4 million. It cost $100 million to produce, which means barring a massive fall off, this movie's probably going to make its money back, because it's making quite a lot of money at the box office, and it actually has a fair budget for the amount of effects and everything that was put into it. Nostalgia for the first movie, as well as word of mouth for the follow-up film, propelled ticket sales to triple digits. It's good that this article is mentioning that, because this is the very clear reason why this movie is doing so well. A lot of people from the 80s, they saw the first movie, they're wondering what the sequel to this film that they enjoyed, that's 30 odd years removed from when it was released, what that's going to be like. Are they going to get the vibes correct still? And I really think that this movie, its success is driven by that nostalgia. It's not necessarily driven by the fact that it's a really good film. Although, I have to say, it turns out this film is very popular with audiences. Now, as you can see here are the Rotten Tomato scores. We have a 77 for the critics and an 82 for the audience score. So both audience and critics like this movie fairly well. And even when you change it to top critics and all audience, the numbers don't actually move that much, maybe 1 or 2%. Now, I will say that the streamer critics that I follow, a good lot of them hated the film. The general consensus was the film didn't do the first film the respects it needed to, and also it just felt weird, even for a Beetlejuice film. A lot of the complaints I heard was it didn't have the same feel to it, simply because it was shot on digital rather than film, which completely changes the way the pictures are viewed through your eyes and sort of the feeling that's created, which, that seems to make sense, right? That would have a big impact on how you view the film. The second criticism I've heard is that it's kind of a sloppy mess. It's all over the place. But to be fair, it's a Beetlejuice movie. I'll be honest with you, I never saw the first Beetlejuice movie. It was never my thing. I'm not really into Tim Burton's horror comedy that he does a lot of. And another main complaint I've heard about this movie is that many of the characters in it were completely unnecessary. Specifically, I remember Willem Dafoe's character, who I think he plays some kind of investigator, that his character could have been completely removed from the plot. But despite those criticisms, it's no denying that this film is most likely going to be a financial success. It's very popular with audiences, and it's also very popular with critics. Whatever that formula may be, it seems that Beetlejuice has found it to maybe not capture the complete nostalgia of the past, but at least produce a good movie that the majority of audiences seem to like. But those are just my thoughts on the subject. If you have your own thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, appreciate you watching all of it. We'll talk to you again later.